let's go for it. You know, we've got the upper hand. Let's continue. Let's send in more mercenaries. Let's pump in more military equipment. Let's go get them. You know, this approach, I feel, Charles, is fraught with risks, and it's not very diplomatic. Charles.
I would say, Arnav, that the U.S. and its allies have found what I think is just about the right line of giving military support, political support, economic support to Ukraine, but not crossing a line. Biden said, we're not going to war with Ukraine. We are not giving to the Ukrainians types of weaponry that we think would lead to an escalation to World War III. So it's a fine line, but I think it's the right line. And Biden has said we will defend every inch of NATO territory. But let me just make two additional points that I think are important here. One, I agree with Laura that one big potential pushback against Putin is the people of Russia. This is not a popular war in Russia. Friends of mine, high-ranking Russians, are speaking out against Putin. This really is a game changer in terms of Russian politics. Could they get rid of Putin? No, maybe. I don't know. But this is new, and I think we should keep an eye on it. The other issue is China. And maybe our Chinese colleague could weigh in here. Okay. China is really Russia's lifeline for money, to buy oil, to help deal with the economic collapse. If anybody has a lot of influence on Putin, it's Xi Jinping. We need China to step up to the plate.
Okay. Should I get a response from Victor, please? Victor?
I will be happy to say that.
Burzin, can you come in after Victor, please? Because I want Victor to respond to his point. I'll come to you after that. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. China stands for peace, and China urges all the parties directly involved and indirectly involved to resort to negotiation and diplomacy. We should not pour more fuel onto the fire in Ukraine. Secondly, China respects the authority of the United Nations Security Council. China will abide by any sanctions endorsed and approved by the United Nations Security Council. Now, if there are other countries which want to impose sanctions on Russia, be my guest. But if you want to force China to join you in your sanctions against Russia, then you are overreaching. You are overstepping. Why? Because you are an independent foreign country. China is an independent country. China can decide for itself and by itself what international position it wants to adopt. China-Russia relations are very close. We share a common border, 4,700 kilometers. No one can seal off that common border between China and Russia. This is the reality everyone needs to acknowledge rather than try to overturn. This cannot be overturned. China will be here as a force standing for peace. We want to save as many Ukrainian civilians as possible. We offered assistance to the humanitarian disasters in Ukraine. We opened the door to Ukrainian families, for example, and refugees, and we will continue to do that. But that's not enough. I think right now, we need to really do earnest diplomacy to de-escalate rather than escalate, to bring mankind from the brink of nuclear disaster, rather than continue to push all of us, mankind.
You mentioned nuclear disaster the third time.
Abyss.
Right. And what about the Budapest
Why do you keep mentioning nuclear disaster? He says, what about the Budapest Agreement?
China is reticent to do anything, Arnab. Let's face it.
Yeah, they won't. They won't, but let's also face it. What if China offers, and China has the ability to absorb, if for a short to medium term, Russia's economic losses. What if it does that and says that for the global realignment that we want, we're going to absorb the losses? What will you do?
China can eye Russian sources as a a resource for itself in its current circumstances. But China does not have the capacity to absorb Russian gas. There is simply no piping capacity currently for it to do so, even if Putin throws all the gas that he wishes to. So Riyadh and Tehran still remain Beijing's first and second suppliers. Moscow is third, and it will not suit.